From the Gopher locker room at TCF Bank Stadium, welcome to another edition of Sunday Night Overtime with Coach Claeys. I'm Justin Gaard from KFAN Radio and the Gopher Radio Network, and we're happy that you've joined us on this Sunday night here on the Gopher Football Facebook page. We're also happy to be talking about another Gophers victory, 29-12 over Northwestern yesterday here at the Bank. And Coach, you're now 8-3, 5-3 in the Big Ten, and give us your general thoughts on a pretty nice victory yesterday.
Yeah, it really was. I thought that, again, we come out of the gates quick, offensively moved the ball and was able to score right off the bat. And so it's always, I think, defensively we're built to play with the lead a little bit more. And so to jump out and get out in front was good. And then defensively, I mean, we just had a tremendous effort out of the defense and stopped a team that has just been getting better and better and scoring points. And so I thought they had a great day. And offensively, we made the plays we had to in order to win. And there at the end, again, we continued to get some points off of some turnovers. And, they made a score there and get things tightened up a little bit. And then our offense came right back and matched it. And they've done that quite a few times each year. So overall, we played well in the special teams. And so it was a good victory against a very good team. Was that the best effort from your defense or most complete effort from your defense all year long? Yeah, from start to finish, there's no question. You really didn't feel like there was any lull in there. The one scoring drive they had, they got a couple breaks in there on that scoring drive that allowed them to keep going. And so, but our kids didn't let it bother them. They bounced right back and stopped them on a two-point conversion, which was big to keep it to 2 scores still. So, yeah, defensively, our Jay Sawvell and the staff and the kids, I mean, they just played great. A reminder to get your Facebook questions in. We'll get to those in the next segment. You can just drop them in the comments section here on the Gopher Football Facebook page. We also have some Twitter questions to get to in just a matter of moments. You mentioned finishing the game strong, both defensively and offensively. The offense needed to put together a drive there later in the game after Northwestern had scored the touchdown. There's the targeting penalty. Everyone's mad at the officials. People are mad. It gets a little heated. It gets a little tense. It could have gone one of two ways. And your offense, I think, puts together a 12-play drive, 80 yards, a couple of third downs, and it wraps up with a touchdown. You guys really finished the game well offensively. We really did. And, Shannon Brooks got that thing off and going. He ran extremely hard on that drive. He caught a big catch around the edge that got a first down for us on third down and pounded the ball up inside. And so he was a really good weapon there late. And Mitch completed some balls there and a great throw to Drew in the end zone there off of the play action at the end. So, like I said, they did the play they had to and allow us to celebrate a victory for our seniors. How important was it to finish that drive given the red zone trouble you had earlier in the game with a couple of first and goals inside the 5 and you had to settle for field goals? Yeah, no question. That's somewhere we've been getting touchdowns. And, that first one is that had we not missed the extra point and we've been up by 7, I would have went for the touchdown. But, I didn't want it. If it didn't go good, I didn't want them to be able to go down, score, and take the lead. And so it was one of those things, hey, let's play for the 2-score advantage. So we went up by 9. And, after that, as long as you just keep adding points with the way our defense was playing, if we could keep that to 2 scores, we felt pretty good. A cool moment at the end of the game yesterday where Matt Leidner, who's been a backup center or backup offensive lineman his whole career, he walked out, first of all, for senior day, even though he's a redshirt junior, snapped the ball to his brother, Mitch. That's kind of a classic college football moment, right, at the end of the game here on senior day? It really is, and for a family that, so much supportive and big fans at the University of Minnesota and Gophers, and I'd like to take credit for it, but that was our offensive staff who came up with that, but it was very well deserving for Mitch and Matt and their family. I worry about a fumbled snap at that point. That's the only time you can't have a fumbled snap, right, when it's brother to brother, when it's been built up like that? Well, it would have made Thanksgiving an interesting conversation, that's for sure. But the seniors, you've talked a lot about them. You said yesterday in the radio interview, no group has worked harder in terms of the senior leadership. They've won 30 ball games now. They had another great, basically decade since a senior class has done as well as this senior class. Overall, what has this class meant, and what does it mean to send them out with a win? Yeah, I think they deserve that. To go 6-1 at home is a good accomplishment, but they've worked so hard at it, and they've done things with all the different positions all summer long, all types of team activities. Our practice has been tremendous, and they've done a great job motivating the team and then not expecting the team to carry them along. They truly have gotten out in front and led and done all the work. So it's great for them, as we wrap up the season here, we'll get through all the things they've done. to have 2 winning records in the Big Ten over 3 years is something that has not been done in a long time here.
Right.
And that's what we talk about our kids. We want consistency. Every year we want to be a part of it and be consistent, not have up and down, and they're really getting that established for us.
Let's get to the Twitter questions. They want to talk about fitting, because we just talked about the seniors, some underclassmen. Jay Rosso wants to know about Steven Richardson. Is there a better defensive tackle in the Big Ten than number 96, what he's turned into for you?
You know, there's probably a couple that are equal in that same area as what Steve is, but I don't know if there's one better. And you know, his production is incredible, but you know, the only thing that has stopped Steve from playing anywhere in the country is his height. You know, and in football, that's one thing that when you come to offensive linemen, defensive linemen, a lot of them are judged off of their height, and so but he's as good as any of them in the Big Ten, and he's still got things to work on, to, you know, fundamentals and things like that, because he missed a lot last year being hurt.
Right.
And so I still think he's got some more high side, and will be one of the better ones.
Our next Twitter question has to do with one of the linebackers who's having a high impact here. Did you ever think Blake Cashman would be as good as a sophomore? He's had a nice couple of weeks for you, a great day yesterday as well.
He really did, and you know, the thing with Blake is, I told you, he's the classic tweener. You know, is he a safety or is he a linebacker? And he doesn't have the best coverage skills to play in the secondary. He doesn't quite have the size to play at linebacker. However, with the spread teams and people throwing it all over, he's a perfect fit to put in the box for a linebacker. And he can outrun a lot of the people that he goes against there. He matches up well with backs. He's hard to block very long. He's just got a great motor. And so if we can get in positions to get teams to throw the ball, he's a good fit and a very productive player.
It seems like a very well-liked teammate as well. The other linebackers, they love either teasing him because he's doing so well, or just, you know, just laughing in general. Everybody seems to enjoy his success.
Right. No, well, and they know how hard he works at it. And again, you come out and watch his practice. I think overall we all work really hard, but he definitely sticks out for the effort and the work that he puts into it.
We're just getting started here on Sunday Night Overtime with Coach Claeys. In just a minute or two, we've got plenty of Facebook questions to get to, including our Minnesota Lottery question of the night. That person will win a Minnesota Lottery prize pack. We'll get to that in a minute, but if you weren't here yesterday, it was a little chilly at TCF Bank Stadium, but it was still a fun afternoon. We get you caught up with sights and sounds.
Make sure we send our seniors out on the right note. Everybody with me? Everything that you can do today is send those guys out with a victory at home. That's what it comes down to. Find it deep down inside and pull it out to the forefront. The main thing you got to do is you got to do your job. Do your job, do the best of your ability, and you'll be A-okay. Seniors, it's been a pleasure coaching you guys here. Let's make sure we go out on the right note. Go! Stay on them. Stay on them, okay? Second half, more of the same. More of the same all day.
I know you like being the head coach, but on days like yesterday, do you ever wish you were still the defensive coordinator up in the coach's box?
No question. Or you wish that's where they make a rule and put head coaches is up in the coach's box.
You should have a choice, I think.
You probably do, but you know, you need to be down there. And all the assistants give me trouble, because when I was in the box as a coordinator, and there were times and dead times in the game, or when you had games put away and the weather's bad, I was just, boy, it looks cold down there. Is it cold, or is that rain that's down there? And so they give me a hard time. But yeah, the equipment staff, they know that where they get to come back on Monday or not, if they take care of me well enough on the cold days on Sunday.
It seems like everybody was fairly comfortable. I was not, but I don't count. Let's get to our Facebook questions now. Let's start with Steve that wants to know, you've had some good momentum here at home, obviously 6-1. He wants to know how you keep the momentum when heading out on the road, a very difficult place to play this coming Saturday at Camp Randall.
Yeah, it really is, and you know, I think we've played decent on the road. You know, again, is that the games we've lost, they've come down to the last series or so, and at Maryland we was able to get the lead. At Illinois we were able to get the lead. So I expect us to be competitive, this week. But you play these good teams on the road, it's tough. It really is. And the only thing that, you play as hard as you can, compete as well as you can, and in the fourth quarter, hopefully you have an opportunity to win and you take advantage of those. And so far is that we just haven't been able to close those out, whether finishing a drive on offense or getting a stop on defense at the very end of the games. But we have been competitive, and I expect our kids to be so this week.
The start is always important on the road, or usually important on the road. And for years, it seems like we were always talking about slow starts with the Gophers. The last 2 weeks, you've gone march down and scored touchdowns. How important will that be? What's been the key to that, I guess I should ask?
Yeah, well, I think the guys doing a good job of putting together initial plans and where we want to attack, and then just like anything, defenses are going to adjust a little bit and that. But I still think we can be more consistent after that. But we made a big deal that for a long time we didn't get any points in the first quarter, so we've been able to get some points in the first quarter. But the start, we went to Wisconsin and started really well. The last time we win,
right,
we get to go to the Big Ten championship, and there we didn't finish. And so when you play those good teams, you got to play both a good first half and second half, and try to keep it within a score or get ahead by a score. I like our kids, and I like how the competitor. It's going to be a tough game. There's no question. It's going to be a challenge. But I like we've been competitive every game, and I think we will be again.
Our next Facebook question comes from Greg. Wants to know about some of the starters that are returning next year. He's already looking forward to 2017. Greg is apparently. We talked about some of the upperclassmen, the seniors that are leaving you, but a lot of young guys have come through, and a lot of young guys are producing for you as well.
Yeah, they really are. Tyler Johnson will just continue to get better and better at wide receiver. Rashad Steele is just a sophomore this year, and the backs will be back, and a lot of guys up front, will be back. And we're going to miss Jonah, but the rest of everybody else will be back up there. And then we've redshirted some kids, and I think they'll help us. We won't have the depth problem we're sitting next year up front, and we'll have a good group that if somebody gets hurt, we can rotate in there. But right now we're just a little bit short, and so that'll be taken care of. Then on defense, there's young guys playing all over, and we got to replace Jalen Myrick at corner. But we have 6 corners, and a couple of them being redshirted, and with what we signed. So I like the athleticism of our kids, and so again, it took a little longer. I know when we first got here, it was a little slower, but we wanted to build this thing so each year we could be competitive, and so I think by playing younger players and that, it gives you a chance to do that each year.
Kenneth is the next Facebook question, wants to talk specifically about Wisconsin, moving the ball against a Wisconsin defense that has obviously been very stout for a handful of years now.
Yep, and this year everybody was saying, they'll drop off a little bit, they'll drop off. Dave Aranda was there, and they did. They lost off a lot of guys who made plays, and they've done a tremendous job replacing other seniors from a year ago, and if you watch them, they're just extremely aggressive. They play hard and they're aggressive. They're one of the top 4 defenses in the conference. We're the same. Running 2 of the better running offenses in the conference, and so we're almost matchup identical. They've had a great year, and to be on the road and play them, like I say, it'll be a challenge, but we're looking forward to it, and we know we're going to have to play well to have an opportunity.
Our final question of the night is our Minnesota Lottery question of the week. Josh will win a Minnesota Lottery prize pack. Our people will be in touch with your people, Josh. Do you feel like you're geared up to make a run at the Big Ten over the next few seasons? Kind of touched a little bit on that right now. You wanted to build progressively, and now you feel like you've got the depth to do it.
Yeah, a few seasons, that's a long ways out there. I look at it as 3, so you never know about 3. But like I say, is that you do a good job recruiting, developing kids, and you like to be every year you get to November, and hey, you got a chance at it. And just like this year, if we turn around and we're fortunate enough to win on Saturday, and Nebraska would lose at Iowa, we don't qualify for the game, but we're still considered co-West champs, so it's something that's what we would like to be. Like I say, is I don't know how many wins we'll get each year, what we'll do, but hey, when we get to November, we want to be able to contend for the Big Ten championship, and we need to jump up there and finish it too. There's no question, but that consistency, like I say, what we've 8 wins, 3 of the last 4 years is the first time it's been done in a long time, and now 2 winning seasons in the Big Ten out of the last 3 years is the first time in a long time also. It's that type of consistency that we would like to do and then jump up there and win the Big Ten.
We've talked a little bit about the Badger defense. Let's wrap up our final question tonight, Coach, talking about offensively. You know, they've kind of bounced around with a couple of different quarterbacks. You think Wisconsin, you think running the ball. What stands out about the Badgers generally offensively?
Yep. You know, last year they were more balanced, you know, and they went more 11 personnel and spread you out. This year is that I've made phone calls. Everybody just say, Coach, they're not going to beat themselves. You know, is that Paul and his staff has done a good job of using the two quarterbacks, but they're very patient with the running game and the different options off of it. And they're able to do that because of how well they're playing on defense. And they'll just, you know, pretty soon you look up and the clock's gone. They got the lead by 7 points, 10 points, but the clock's gone. He said they're just so efficient and don't beat themselves. So we're going to have to find a way to get downhill and be physical and hopefully get a ball on the ground or two that can go our way and not give up the big plays over the top and then find a way to get a few points. But as I said, we've been competitive in every game. They've come down to the last drive you know, I believe we'll be in that same situation again.
Have a great week of preparation, and we'll see you on Saturday.
Well, thank you.
That's the head coach, Tracy Claeys. From all of us here at Sunday Night Overtime with Coach Claeys, we thank you for watching. A reminder, they announced the kickoff time for the Camp Randall kickoff, Gophers, Badgers, 2:30 this coming Saturday. Have a great Sunday. Thanks again to the Minnesota Lottery for helping us out each and every week.